Okay, so for the what do we call them? For the actual sessions that we did previous weeks, we did a deeper understanding of this. So today is just a revision of just a lightweight visit or revisit of these sessions. So in case anyone wants to maybe help, um, maybe they want to help me break down some of these concepts, or you need to ask any question along the way as we are moving on, you can raise up your hand on time so that I unmute you in the process. Also, if you want to contribute some of these points, whenever we are doing the sessions, you can raise so that I allow you to speak. Whenever we are discussing this, you can also contribute in the live discussions. So, and make sure that your mic is on mute unless it's necessary for you to speak. We just need, whenever the discussion is on, we just contribute. So, yeah, make sure that you're on a silent place, no unnecessary background noises. So, in case anyone wants to contribute, you can raise up and kindly make sure that you raise up your hand. So, okay. So, P, we said we have classes. Classes are just blueprints. Okay, sorry. Open the wrong code. Let me open some files here so that in case you want to see some code, we can follow along some of the codes that we have written some time back. Anyway, guys, we have been talking about CASA. We have been talking about CASA for some time. Anyone who has ever tried CASA, this CASA AI, it's CASA AI. It's an AI powered thing like a Visual Studio Code. Anyone who has ever tried, or anyone of you who uses CASA? Yeah, Evelyn, thank you. Evelyn, I can see you're on the right side. You're on the safe side. You have not, you have it, but you have never tried. Ah, you are doing yourself wrong. Actually, have you ever had something like I mean, how do I say it? Have you ever seen these tools where you have some free versions and the free versions are way greater than anything that you can ever imagine in this world? Then they tell you to pay later. Now, CASA is the same way. Every month you have credits to use. They are called credits or tokens. Pro version, great, great tool and credits that you guys need to choose. Can I choose Visual Studio over it? Yeah, of course, depends. You can use Visual Studio Code. I tried it, you prefer, maybe you preferred it because you need, but although you need to customize it for it to work best. So for someone who doesn't look carefully or keenly, this is my VS Code. This is just my normal VS Code here. Now, if you check this, unless you are aware, unless now you start checking at the logo and something else, no one can notice if this is CASA AI. if this is editor. No one can really notice what is this or what this is. You need a Casa tutorial. Actually, Casa, you don't need a tutorial. If you use Visual Studio Code, the same exact way that you use Visual Studio Code, the same exact way that you need to use Casa. No difference at all. It's just AI powered. Someone wants to know what this entire code base of mine is doing. It's just a system. Actually, I'm a programmer. They call me JS Daddy in case you don't know. So I work in, my code base is entirely in JavaScript. Have you seen anything else here? Everything is JS here. You can see it's not a child's play. It's not a child's play here. This is very hard. JavaScript is very hard, man. Anyway, let's continue with the OOP. OOP. I just want to open the folder where we'll be working on OOP in Python week 5. Week 5 OP. There we go. So where is it? The LMS. You guys know JavaScript is not hard. I'm just lying. That's why I use it on daily basis. Where am I? Okay, here. So what is a class? A class is a blueprint. A blueprint is a plan. I just want to give you an example. And someone can guess what I'm doing. I just want someone to guess what, to see if they understand what I'm doing. Someone can guess what I'm trying to do here. By the look of things, what am I trying to do? What am I trying to do? You can check it again here, this code here. What is my plan here? Or what am I trying to do? Creating a function, function declaration, defining a function, creating a function. All these are correct. So by the look of things, you already have an idea what I'm working on. You already know my plan of what I'm doing. I'm creating a function, okay? That is the blueprint. That is the plan. And that's what OP is basically like. So this one here, if I use the define class car, up to there, define class car, you already know what I'm trying to do. I'm having a plan. I'm having a blueprint. A class is a blueprint or a prototype. You already know what I'm working on. So that's what we call a good example, a small example, or the basic example of what is a blueprint, what is a plan. You already know I'm creating a class of a car. So anything that will come up here everything is just like a car. Very simple. So an object is an instance of the class. So let's keep that and do attributes so that we come back to objects. So what is an attribute? An attribute is a characteristics or properties of an object. Characteristics or properties of an object. A car has characteristics. This is a plan. I'm already working on a car. Some of the characteristics of a car has color red. A car has a model BMW, right? That is a characteristics of this car that we are working on. And the car is a class. And a car is basically a class. Okay. Now, what is a method? It's an action or behaviors that the object can perform. Okay. What is our object? Our object is the car. But the car's characteristics, color, and model. But what are the behaviors of this car? We want our car to drive. That's what a method is. A method is the behavior of the car. A car can drive. A car can stop. Okay? A car can stop. Then this is how we call the car. We find a variable, then we assign it to this car. This is the same as calling a function. Remember this function, we are writing it here. For a function to work, I can say list house. The list of the house is my house. Is my house function. Then I can basically print. I can print the list house. Have I got this function? Yes or no? I've got this function. So this is the same as my car. You call that function, or you call that class. Creating an instance of a car class. If we call a car, we have got the entire program, right? But inside the car or the entire program, we have different methods. And we said the first method is drive. Second method was stop. So inside my car, we can say drive, stop. Go to the car, inside car, dot drive, dot stop. As simple as that. So that's all about classes in OP. For the classes in OP, I think that has made sense. I hope that has made some sense. Anyone will still start before we move to the next topic on OP?
Oh, there are someone requesting you that you repeat.
Okay. So we said in OP a class is a blueprint. A method is a behavior. Then we have some few variables that we just assigned here. So a car is a blueprint or a plan or the design of our program. Our program is simulating a car. Okay. So if we simulate a car, we can pass our variable here, then assign to the car. It's basically as just writing a function and calling the function just like this. This is how you call a function. It's basically the same as that. So for the car.drive, instead of car, we can say car.drive, just like this. This same function is the same as this same functionality right here. So to avoid confusion, we can basically define a variable here, then assign it to this particular class here. Then inside the car, we can dig deeper and call a specific method or call a specific behavior. Or in case you want it, you can call this function. And the function is inside my car, inside this car. That is my car dot drive, my car dot stop. As simple as that for the classes. Okay, the next topic is about constructors. Constructors, very simple. What is a constructor? What are constructors? What is a constructor? What is a constructor? Every time you create a new object, what is an object? An example of an object is a person, a car, house, a mountain. Anything is an object. Every time you are creating that object, you want it to have unique attributes like color, model, etc. So the constructors, we use the init method that will allow us or will allow each object to start with a specific value. So it's like building a pizza with leave that example. We are going to look at a better example. We're going to look at examples so that we understand the init method. So what are instance variables? Instance variables are specific to each object. For example, a car object can have different colors and different models and of course different speeds, etc. An example of a constructor. We define a car class in which in this car class we define a constructor. Then we pass the instances right here. We are going to explain. It's just a quick overview. So, so let's check an example so that we understand it here. We have different people. I'm creating a class of a person so that we use the constructor method in it. So we define this method. You see this method here. This is a method. The same method that we defined here. You see this method and this method is almost the same as this method. As you can see, we use the init in this one. Then we passed the self as a parameter here. So what did we do here? We said a constructor allows each object to start with a specific values. So let's explain this example further. So we use instance variables that are specific to each object and can vary across different objects. Example, we are creating person, got this person object here. We define this method, and method we said are behaviors, characteristics. So we pass the self variable, name, age, height. This is the same as writing a normal function, and this function we are passing parameters. So what is an instance variable? We want when we can pass different, we can pass different details, and it can print different people. Let's say we have two people. We are calling them using this one class. We use constructors. So we have self.name, age.self.age, self.height. The same way, you remember the same way we call the function here. The same way, we are going to call this person here. So person details is equal to the person, because these are parameters, we need to pass the values for these parameters. The name, the age, then the height. That means here we are calling one person. We can call person 2. As you can see, we are still using the same function. We are still using the same class, the same plan. In that plan, you want to use different people like Jane, age of 28, and height of 50, 53.5, or 53 is her height. So in real world, I want to show you a real world example. I want to explain a real world example. Where do I get a real world example? Yeah, this form here. Now, this one is the constructors thing. So person A will fill their details, all these required details. Then it will store, or it will only reference to this one person's details. Person B can fill the same details, of course, different details. Then once we are storing this data, it will store as person 2, person 3, person 4, person 5, all the way like that. So this is just the same simulation. Person 1, we are using the same form. We are using the same form, collecting these details. But whenever we are printing out, we are going to get person 1 with their details, person 2 with their details, but still using the same form. So that's the same application for this class. So that's the same idea for these constructors. So we can check it, the last one for P, that is inheritance, polymorphism, and encapsulation. So what is inheritance? These are principles of OP. So what is inheritance, polymorphism, and encapsulation? So is using a constructor the most recommended way? Yeah, it's the most recommended way. Again, depending with what you want to achieve. Someone is that we have the dog in the background, of course. Yeah, we have a dog in the background. It's a German Shepherd, in case you are wondering what kind of a dog. It's not an African dog, it's not our normal spy dogs. It's not our normal party spy dogs. You know those normal party spy dogs? They are in Kenya, but they can smell some party or some food in South Africa. And they know the way to South Africa. No, it's not those kind of dogs. My dog only smells if we have a Subaru around. It will only smell if we have. Actually, my dog can fight. My only one dog can fight a gorilla. I don't need 100 men. I just need that dog and can fight the gorilla. Actually, I should rename my dog from Flocky to JS Doggy. I need to rename the dog to JS Doggy. Someone is saying this is Mutira on the way. Mutura on the way. Some South African guys don't know what is Mutura. They will never know. What do we call Mutura in English? It's an African sausage. Oh, wow. You guys are so clever. Cookie. African sausage? Wow, crazy. People in Nigeria, do you know what is an African sausage? Of course, you guys know it. Don't lie to me. You are still Africans. And of course, you guys, you know the African doggy, the African Motino. Okay, let's continue with OP. What is inheritance? Just like humans inherit traits from their parents, classes can inherit attributes and methods from other classes. Example, just as humans can inherit traits, properties from their parents, The same way, in programming, we can inherit a method or a behavior from a different class. Example, imagine a vehicle class with general features like colors, wheels, and the rest. We can recreate a subclass like a car and a bike to inherit those features. Example. An example, a different example. So let's just go to where? Inheritance. Let me see if we have inheritance right here. Just want, no, maybe we can use this example. It's a good example here. Someone is saying Nigerian, they call it suya, the African sausage. It's called suya. About South Africans or South Africans? Or South Africans are not Africans, they don't know this. But maybe we can ask our friend Malema. Malema visits Kenya. Malema visits one of our great people, we call him Baba. Nigerians can't get this. Okay, let me show you. Let's explain this example for inheritance. So we have a class vehicle, and we said this is a constructor. So if we have a class vehicle, a vehicle has some behaviors, characteristics. So a vehicle must have wheels. So in a vehicle, we don't know what are vehicles. Vehicles can be bikes, can be a car, can be a plane, can be a train. That's a vehicle. So in vehicles, that's general, okay? And they must have wheels. So whenever we are making a car, it should have wheels. Whenever we are making a bike, it should have wheels. Whenever we are making a train, a plane must have wheels, for example. So we create this class of vehicle, the general features. So we create a class of a car, and in this class of a car, we can pass the vehicle, the characteristics of this vehicle, just like that. And either here you can use the pass, the print, any statement that you want to do. Remember, this is the block of code that you have already passed the behavior here. Then you can define all the other things that you want here in this class. So whenever we are calling this function for car, we can pass a car has 4 wheels. Remember, we are talking about wheels. A car has 4 wheels. Then a car can print the wheels in this car. You can create another car of Nduthi. Then in this Nduthi, you can pass other wheels like 2. Our automobile has 2 wheels. And you guys want to try this example. So let's work on this. We call it inheritance example. So we pass a class of JS Daddy kingdom. I have my own kingdom. In this kingdom, we have a constructor. In this constructor, we pass several things here. We can pass self, then we can call things like like name. Okay, we can pass things like name. Then here we can pass the self dot name. Okay, so we want to create inheritance. I have my big kingdom. Okay, so in this kingdom, oops, we can create a class of, it's a kingdom, of course I need several mummies. Of course we have queens. We have queens in a kingdom. So in this kingdom, they are going to inherit JS, that is properties, or they need to have some few properties of their own. Then of course here I can print like this JS mummies. Queen is a subclass of JS, that is kingdom. So it is a simple start. In this kingdom, we have JS mummies, and each mummy, each queen has their own name. Okay, so you can print out the output in case you want to. So we can pass JS queens. In JS queens, queens underscore names, JS underscore names. So in case we have the names right here, you can say JS Mummy 1, names 1, maybe. You can pass as many names as you want. You can pass as many names as you want, just like this. So this is an example of inheritance. Let's break it down. We have this kingdom right here. In this kingdom, we have, we want to assign each JS mummy with their name. So JS Daddy Queen class, they have to inherit, let's say, JS Daddy Queen 1, JS Daddy Queen 2, JS Daddy Queen 3, for example. So we can print out their names like this. So whenever we are working on their names, each queen should have that name. JS Daddy Queen 1, JS Daddy Queen 2, Queen 3, Queen 4, Queen 5. So that's a good example of inheritance. Someone is saying that they need to inherit something meaningful. For now, I have nothing. They can only inherit my name. They can't inherit my Mutina. My Mutina is only one. I only have one dog, so they can't inherit anything else. They can only inherit my name. Someone wants to know their names. No, I can't disclose their names. I can't at all. Someone wants me to I can't disclose their names. I can never. Until I have so much property to leave to them, that's when I'll disclose their names. So that's inheritance, as simple as it looks like. Polymorphism. Polymorphism is derived class that can behave differently from the same method inherited from the base class. A good example, I have this kingdom. Each queen, they can have their own behaviors. They can behave differently from the other. Polymorphism, it's a derived classes can behave differently from the same method inherited from. For example, a class of a dog can speak, okay? And these dogs, they hoof. A class of a cat, a class also can speak, but it speaks different. So here is the base class. They speak. They have the same behaviors, but they can behave differently. So they all speak, but they speak differently. Meow, just like that, and woof. So polymorphism in action. So in case you wanted to print out their output, it's very simple. You pass this loop here, this for loop. For every single animal, we have two animals. In the list of animals is dog and cat. Print animal.speak. Print how they speak. One can woof, one can meow. And that's all about polymorphism. Someone is saying the dog can bark, not speak. Yeah, my dog is called Floki. And what is the meaning of Floki? I don't even know. Okay, we can look at the last example. We can look at the last example. So this is the hardest part in Python. Someone say this is the hardest part in Python. Not in Python. The hardest part in programming are only two. Once you break them down, you are done. That is object-oriented programming and data structures and algorithms. Two. The first one is simple. OP, it's very simple. The first one is very simple. OP is very simple. As you can see, it's just very simple. Someone is asking, when will I ever use OP? So in OP, we have two things that you can do. In case you want to, we have two concepts here. We have OP and we have functional programming. Functional programming is where instead of writing all this, you just write normal functions. Instead of all this, you can just write normal functions. Instead of doing all this, in case this is hard, you can just write normal functions. But in case you don't want to do that, you can choose OP. So OP is just a matter of choice. Do you want to use OP or do you want to use functional programming? Everything that you are writing here in OP, you can still write the same concepts in functions. So it's just a matter of choice. Do you want to use OP or do you want to use functional programming? It's just a matter of choice. Someone will go for the functional. Someone will say that they will go for the functional. So for example, what does JS Daddy? use instead of OP, I use functional programming. You can see everything. This is JavaScript, but nothing like class here. Everything is functional. Everything is functional. I just prefer functional. Why should I make my life hard when I can use functional? I should not make my life hard for myself. It's just a matter of choice. You prefer OP any day? OP has its advantages, of course. How about reusability? Now that depends on how good you are in writing your code. How about reusability? So OP gives you more advantage when it comes to reusability. You can reuse that code in anywhere and it will avoid rewriting different codes or different functions for the same thing. For example, in case I'm writing a function, maybe just a random function about answering user questions. This is just, let's say that I'm writing a recommendation system that analyzes topics. This is a recommendation system I've been working on. So instead of, if I'm using this function, this is a normal function. I want to reuse it. So instead of writing this function multiple times, OP will give me the advantage of writing one function that I can use it across multiple, for example, files or functionalities in my system. But if I know how to use, what if I know how to use, if I know how to write good functions, functional way, I can just write it and I can reuse it whenever part I want in my system. Can you see? Is this function here? I can reuse it as much as I want. So it depends on how you write your code and how you understand your solution or your problem, the problem you are trying to solve. So that's, are we done? Yeah, we are done with also encapsulation. You can check out encapsulation. This is a practice of keeping attributes and methods private to prevent unwanted interference outside the class. To prevent unwanted interference, you can use encapsulation. Encapsulation is more simpler than anything you have ever imagined. Encapsulation. Let's see encapsulation. An example of an encapsulation. So encapsulation, for example, I can create a function for this class is called secret stash. Secret stash. In this secret stash, if I want to use encapsulation, I can define this private attribute. How do you make it private? It's very simple. I want you to see the difference between these. In this one here, this function, I just wrote this class. Then I use the init as a constructor. Then I used self dot name to create something private. Now you see here, I'm no longer using the private self.chocolate. I'm including two double underscores to privatize it, to make it private. Imagine that's the difference. It's nothing big of a difference. So the thing that you need to understand for now, P, maybe you can dig deeper later. The further you go, the further you create different solutions and see the difference. For now, you can know to privatize it. The first thing that should click in your mind is using of a double underscore right here when you're assigning these instances here. So that's the first thing that you should understand. And that's what we need to understand for now for this stage. It's still early for you to do these things. So you need to just first take that as an example. And this is just an implementation of a small logic where you have a basket of chocolates and you have 10 chocolates. In these 10 chocolates, we create a function for take a chocolate. So if I take one chocolate from this basket of chocolates, how many remain? One. So if in this basket we have more than 0 chocolate, that means we can take one chocolate from this basket and say one chocolate has been taken. If we don't have any chocolate left, you can say no chocolate has been left. No chocolate has been left in our basket. And as usual, this is how we print out the normal function. Very simple as it looks like. Very simple. We'll be having these notes up to the next, the notes will be available forever now and also after graduation. As long as you have the access to LMS, you still have the notes, and forever you'll have the access to the LMS. You don't have to worry about the notes. What might change is the recording according to the cohort. The lesson recordings according to the cohort, that's what might change, but otherwise everything will remain constant. Can we do APIs? Yeah, API is the last thing. So can we try APIs? How many are ready? We try APIs. Might be above your knowledge, but it's okay. You can give it a try. You can give it a try. So to access Anaconda is very simple. To access Anaconda is very simple. You just have to go to anaconda.com/app. When you're in anaconda.com/app, just click the notebooks, the Jupyter notebook, this one here, the notebooks. Just click it, it will bring you to here. Where is it? It will bring you to here. It will bring you to here. And creating these notebooks is very simple. You just create a file. You just click this file. Just click this file. Click new. Then click new notebook. To bring you an empty notebook, and you can write any code right here. So in case it asks you to assign any kernel or to choose any kernel, just choose any kernel of your choice. Just write any or just choose any kernel of your choice. In case it kernel or runtime of your choice, that is the runtime of your choice. So once you write any piece of code, you can click this button run, or you can click this other button run here. Any can work perfectly. Any works the same. In case you miss this, you have this for the run of the kernel. Okay, that's on week 7. The main content week 7. Week 7. Where's week 7? Week 7. So in case you want to get the details or the detailed explanations, we are going to go through, don't worry. But in case you want to get the detailed explanations, we did these sessions, and you can get the recordings here to go through deeper the detailed explanations. But in the meantime, you can explore week 7, we learned about data analysis, and we learned pandas, matplotlib, we learned pandas and matplotlib. So for pandas and matplotlib, that's when we introduced this anaconda and the Jupyter thing. So a quick overview, a quick one. What is pandas? Pandas is an open source. So we use these pandas to analyze data. How do we analyze data? We analyze data. Let's say we have an institution that has given you data to know the number of learners who have qualified to first year, second year, third year, and you have the data. So we use pandas to plot all those different datas. And a detailed example, we did it right here. So in case I've seen a question that has popped up several times, I will address it on how to import. Okay, let's continue. So we use pandas to plot tables, to just create tables with data. You can go through this. Actually, week 7 and week 8 was the easiest thing that we have ever done when it comes to Python. It is the easiest. You can testify about that, guys. It's the easiest thing that we have ever done when it comes to Python programming. So data analysis is too easy. It's too easy. If you're interested, yeah, it's too easy. We covered pandas for drawing tables. Then these are just examples. These are just different examples of, you can calculate sum, you can calculate maximum age, you can sort data according to city, country, age, all these different examples. And also you can draw different graphs with matplotlib when it comes to this analysis. And drawing graphs is as easy as just writing 3-4 lines of code. I can show you an example of how do you load data. Maybe before we do that, let me show you how you load data. To load data, you just okay. So to load data anywhere, you just click this button here. That is upload. To load this data, you just click this data. That is upload. Then you can select the data that you want to load. You can load the data that you want to load. I want to check the data. You can just click the data that you want to load and it will automatically load it here. You can load this data right here. It's very simple. You just click this upload, then you select the kind of data that you want, then you click open, then it will automatically upload it here. It's very simple as uploading that data. For COVID-19 data, you can use any data. Someone is asking us to do week 8. Week 8 is just a simple project that you can follow along. If you do week 7 well, week 8 is just a click of the button. It's only one topic. It's just like step by step on how you can work on a project. It's just a step by step on how you can work on a project. I wish we had enough time to go through this week 8. So week 8, we are working on a COVID-19 global data tracker. And in this global data tracker. So we're just using COVID-19 data that has been provided right here, and also some other extra resources that you can check out in the Hopkins. This is an example. These are different data and implementations of different examples. You can download all this data is right here. So much data that is available. Either this data or this data, it's all the same. You can download this data. Once you download this data, you can use this data. This, of course, this is the data that you are working on here. You save it in a folder. It's just like downloading and saving it in your machine. So data loading, you use the pandas to load the CSV. Then you can check the columns, you can check the headers in case you want to preview it. This is just the preview some of the codes. Of course, we are previewing using pandas. To use pandas, these are some of the data points in case you want to know some of the columns. We are calling them data points. You can do data cleaning. Data cleaning is just like filtering, deleting the rows that you don't want. You can convert dates. You can handle missing numeric values. Then, of course, we are using pandas again in this, nothing new. So exploring data, this is just exploring data, plotting tables, plotting death over time, calculating the death rates. These are just simple examples. Then you can visualize it with charts, bars, and heat maps. Of course, the tools is not, you don't have to use both. You can choose one, Matplotlib or Seaborn. So you can visualize for the vaccinations, how the vaccinations went. You can do this, of course, this is optional. See, this is optional. You can build this kind of a map. Then you can do reporting, is just writing a small report. No more text. No more text like X countries had this number of cases and this number of deaths. Just like, right, you see this text. This is how you can write this summarizing and insights. This country, Kenya, had this amount of infections, or this number of cures, this number of deaths. Then all these are just some few requirements. So in case you want to see how we plotted these graphs, we have all the recordings right here in week 7, weekly live recordings, week 7, part 1, part 2. You can check out. All of them have the same thing, no difference, have the same, actually it's just like doing the same project. The project that we did here, week 7, is the same project that we are doing for week 8, but the difference is the requirements, but the same procedure, the same project. So someone is asking from the shared repo, which CSV file do we use? You have so many CSVs, you can use any. You can use any. You can use any. We have so many, you can't use both. You just have to use, it's just a reference material. Choose the one that you wish. Yes, you need to ask questions. You can raise up your hand. You can raise up your hand.
Yes, good afternoon, JS Daddy.
Hey, good afternoon.
It's quite raining here in Nakuru. So I was asking, see, these Kenyans are laughing at me. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I was asking how to submit the week 7 assignment.
It's very easy. Week 7 and week 8, it's very easy. Let me show you. Any other question? Okay. To submit this, it is as easy. So you are required to submit a GitHub repo for the notebook. It's very easy. It's very easy. Either you submit a GitHub link or you submit the, what do you call it? The notebook. So I'll show you the easiest way to submit this instead of the repo. So you just click, where's my share button? Yeah, so it's just hiding itself. So let's say this is the file that you have worked on. This is the assignment that you need to submit. It's very simple. Click this share button, this green button, share. Then click share notebook. In a moment, you can share the notebook. It should be loading some resources right here. Let's say any of these. Sorry, I think I had lost my network. So sorry. So you just click share, then select the one that you want to share. You just select share and share the click the one that you want to share. Then you can copy that link. Then just go to your assignments. Once you are done, click and just paste that link. It's the same. Instead of using GitHub, downloading it and taking it to GitHub, you can copy share, then you can submit these assignments instead of download it and putting it to GitHub. It is as easy as just clicking share and sharing this. Very easy. Just click this button and click share and click share. That's how you submit that assignment. Very easy. Can I share the link to Google Colab file? As long as it contains the code, perfect. Share the link. Okay, so we can try the API for those who wanted to know how to use different APIs. But this one, I don't know if I have credits. I need to use it. I need to use credits. So we are using a different platforms. Go to replit.com. This replit.com. Because if we try to hard code this, it will take forever. Just go to replit.com. If you don't have an account, create an account. If you have one, click login. Log in with your GitHub. Then wait for it to load. This is just like, for those who have tried Google Colab, this is just like Google Colab. It gives us, basically it gives us the boilerplate codes. So once you are here, you can create an app. It seems I've exhausted my free trials. So you just click here and then you'll select. Can I use a different account instead? Let me see. Okay, you can set up your Replit account. I'm trying to set up mine. It's for personal use. I need to use the free starter. Don't have to pay. There we go. We have our Replit has already been set. So these APIs, you can just create new app, and in creating new app, you can choose template. And in choosing the template, you can search for Django. That is Django, Python Django. You can just search for the template here, Django. Then you can just rename it here, APIs. You can rename it here, either public or private. You can make it public or private APIs. Then I can create my app. I don't need this. There we go. You can basically create a simple Django app just like this. It's very simple. It's very simple. So I know this might be complex to some people. Yeah, Replit is not like Google Colab. That's why I said they are different. I said for APIs, it's a topic on its own. It's a topic on its own. A very big topic. It's a very big topic. So this means we are going to study Django. And I don't know if you guys are comfortable with studying Django at this time. It's very hard. Not hard, but we have to do so many setups. So for those who don't want to study it, you can feel free to drop, but for those who want to try they want us to try, we can try. But in the meantime, let me show you. Where is it? Where is it? I can give you some reference material. If I get too fast, you can check them out. You can check them out. I just want to get the video. We have so many resources right here. I have so many resources to share. This is one. You can save it out. You can check it out later. And whatever we are trying to do, let me see if we have it. Don't know if this is the correct one, but let me see. Yeah, this is the next one. You can check it out. So this one will be a little bit faster in case you want. You have those resources. You can check them out. So let's go. Just go to your Replit. With my Replit. Replit. Let me show you. Let me prepare this. Just go to your Replit. Over here, you can add a new file. New file. Okay. It's on Django project. Just click on Django projects. In Django projects, you can add a new file, add file, and call it views.py. You have that file for views.py. We have the URLs. Anything else we need? No. We don't need anything else. Yeah, we need templates. Over here, just click on this file, then create a new folder and call it templates. So inside the templates is where we are going to create our index.html. So you write HTML. Yeah, think that's it. Now to write HTML, that should be simple. Yeah, how do you create a normal HTML file? It's very simple. How do you create a simple HTML? Yeah, there you go. So here is the HTML for our preview. So we don't need to set up so many things. We only need to set up this H1, this H1. Why is it not auto-completing? H1, and you can say this is API. Then over here, we shall see later. So that's it for the HTML. Then the next thing that we need to do is we go to the URLs, not the URLs, but the settings. So inside the settings, you can scroll down until you see anywhere where you have, you can scroll down all the way to down. Then you can add, we have our static files. We don't need anything static. Do we need to include our templates? Let me check. Yeah, we need to go to templates. Just here inside directories in line 62, just include base underscore directories, dir. I'm going to show where it's coming from. So this one is this one here. See this variable that is here. It has already been defined for us. So you just import it here for use. You just import it right there. For use is our debug true. Let me see. We have a debug. Yeah, we have our debugging. Django is not easy, guys. Remember that Django was out of our today's topic. So for those who want to try APIs, we can go to URLs. In URLs, we can create URLs. We already have our URLs here. So we need to import this file. We need to import our views. So we can just import this is how we import views. From on import views. So once we import the views, we can pass our views right here. So we can include a path just like this. Go to views dot index, then import the index. I'm going to show you where you come up with the index. So the index is right here on the views. So on the views, we import, because we are using APIs, remember that we were using APIs. We imported libraries like requests, the request. Then if we are using Django, import django.shortcuts, import something we call render. Render is just like whenever we import the URL, this is import, not imports. Import. So whenever you're using render, it's like fetching something, then you render it to the browser, display it on the browser. It's very simple. Define index, then you return the index like this. You see this index function. See this index function is the one that we imported here. From views, import this index function. So this is the index function that we imported right here. So we don't need this return. We only need to use the response. Just define a variable response is equal to requests. See this request that we have here. Request.get API. I'm just using a random API here. We can get, I don't think if I remember an example of an API, but this one should work. It's a GitHub API. So what does it contain? What does this API contain? You can copy that API and just paste it in a new browser. You can see this API has a lot of data, a lot of user data. This is actual repos. These are actual repositories, guys. You can even be surprised to find your own repository here. You can be surprised if you find your own repository right here. Don't be surprised if you find your own repo. See, this is a public repo. These are real repositories. So these APIs are valid. So here, we can pass data that we fetch from the API. We pass the response.json. That is formatting our response.json. So we can pass the result. The result can be, how do we write this? Do I remember? Let me see. We pass the first index. Then we import a single repo. I think this should be correct. Let me indent this correctly. Once we do this, we need to return. We return render. Yeah, we return render. Then we return this index. So we return the request. Is it request? Yes, we return the request. Then we return the index.html. You see this index.html, but this index is inside the templates folder. Templates slash index.html. Then we return the result like this. So this one should work now. I intent it. The indentation is correct. So I believe this code should work. This is the entire code of using. Let me see. Oops. This is not working. In case you see we have an error like this. This actually is a simple error to solve. This is a simple error to solve. It's a very simple error to solve. It's a very simple error to solve. I want to open the terminal here. How do you open a terminal in Replit? Anyone knows how to open a terminal in Replit? I want to open a new terminal in Replit. Yeah, it's the shell. Thank you, it's the shell. So here we just pip install this library we imported, requests, just like that. Okay, then we can run our code again and see. Oops, this is APIs, it's returning this HTML. So right over here in the HTML, we can return anything like resort. Is it resorts or resorts? Let's go to views. It's a resort. It's a resort. So I can refresh. There we go. Just imported some data. Once you refresh, it can import different data. This is Mysore. Mysore. Let's see. Mysore. This is digital. It imports different repos. Just a random repo. This is still digital. Let's see if we get a different person. Yeah, this is API Anubisa. Yeah, that imagine this as just basic example on how you use Django to import different APIs. So I'm doing this for the person who requested. We try the API, and actually we need a whole day, a whole topic to start from scratch on how to use APIs, on how to do Django. This was just a normal request from our friend who requested we try the APIs. As you can see, we have imported data from API, then we did this. And I've already shared 2 tutorials on how to use this API. So don't worry. Maybe next week, if we have another catch-up session, we are going to fully introduce Django for those who want to know Django. You want to deploy some code on Supabase and render? Yeah, I'll guide you. I think in this tutorial we have done that on how to deploy it to render, if I'm not wrong, on how to deploy these to render. It's very simple, it's very easy. But in next week, we are going to have a full session. I'm going to create a full session for you guys to check it out. So that's it for today. For those who want to join the catch-up session, we are going to repeat the same thing that we have done in the evening. So thank you a lot, guys, for joining. See you in the next. Oh, for grand final, so a very important question. For grand final, should we work on the project using Python and its frameworks? In grand final, there's nothing you're working on. It's just some extra materials that you can use to learn. There's nothing you're working on for week 8, that grand final. It's just extra materials that you can use for your learning.